Okay, hi everybody. My name is Massimo, and we're going to do a small demonstration of this plugin CanOpener Studio. Uh, First, I think I will give you a little bit of a background on who I am, what I've been doing. Well, I started actually with my first recorder when I was 10. And this was the thing. It was a Geloso, was a mono, small quarter-inch mono thing device. I think it was about 1967. I was completely hooked and started recording anything I could find, and then logically, so slowly I started getting better things, and I became a musician and jumping up. The first serious things will start happening in the 70s. When I was late 70s, I was recording in different studios in Rome. I was very happy because I started recording at the RCA studios and CBS Italy and stuff. So really could find out what kind of sound you could get out of things. So logically, grow up, start working, getting some money, and start getting my first serious things. And my first uh, good amp was an Phase. And then I moved to, in the 80s now, we make a big jump. 20 years later, I had an audio note, and it was a fantastic thing that I had tweaked. I started tweaking. I also, at that time, I was working as a studio recording technician. I had a small studio in Copenhagen, and all analog, logically, at that time. And so this was my thing at home, and it was completely tweaked. I had black gates, legendary components, and silver wiring was completely incredible. And my speakers were the other legendary Quad ESL 57. These are electrostatic loudspeakers, and they, I think, are the best. Definitely the best. Electrostatics are incredible, completely transparent, and you just start seeing the music in front of you. You don't listen to it anymore. Just see and find out when the instruments are and everything. Then after some time, I even stepped up. I had my friend Andrea Ciuffoli from Audio Design Guide in Italy, in Rome. He built me this incredible amp and for EL34 tubes, bulbs. Was also, this one was a single-ended, was incredible, and at that point I had two stacks quad sets. So this is not a picture of my set, but at that time was looking more or less like that, and the sound reproduction was simply incredible. It was really absurd. My good friend and mentor, Dave Liebman, saxophone player, jazz master, with more than 500 recordings on his back. When he came to my place, he was completely shocked, and he said, "I'd never heard music sounding like my music, sounding like this, outside of one of the best recording studios." So this was the kind of stuff, and this is the kind of sound I always try to reach in this sense. So anyway, when we are in a live situation, you have music coming from all over the place. See, this is the settings. This can be an orchestra. If you're sitting, let's say, here, you start seeing people playing. When the instruments play, you can clearly have what we call soundstage. And on an orchestra, for example, even, these people are a bit up. You can see there are steps. And in this sense, you really start having a three-dimensional vision when you are in a concert hall. Same thing if it's a smaller group. You clearly have, the viola, the cello in different positions. If it's a jazz concert, you're going to have people, even if they are amplified, but if you're close enough, you get the acoustic picture of the thing. And even in a big concert, you're going to be, scene, having an impact, and maybe also the approach of the sound design. It can be even more creative, and so music really has a picture on its own compared to the thing. So logically, when we're going to record, we all would like to be in a place like this. Now, this is one of the legendary studios, as Capitol Studios, Studio B, I think. Here you have an incredible Neve analog deck. I mean, sound mixer, and you have fantastic reference speakers. You have close-up studio monitors, and you have the best acoustic situation. You can see no corners, more or less. Everything has been treated in a way. I mean, something like this is costs several millions. So then when we go home, the situation looks more like this. And logically, even though if we can have some decent, more or less decent studio monitors, the room and everything is really very, very, very influences a lot. So at the end of the day, we start thinking about, using headphones, also because we have people in the house and we cannot make noise, all kind of stuff. And so the point is, what is the difference? When you have speakers, you have the sound coming in front of you, and actually comes with angles. Generally it's like 60 degrees, sometimes 45, whatever. The point is that compared to having headphones, you hear with the left ear, for example. You don't only listen to the left channel, you also listen part to a reflection of the right channel. There is a slight time lag, time difference when you receive it, and your head even cut off some frequencies and so on. So but in this sense, you have a picture which is much more two-dimensional. In very, very good speakers, like I was talking about the quad before, you really start really creating a three-dimensional picture. Here you have your ears and nothing else. This is what you get. The sounds come from right and left, and as much as you can try to get a good stereo, you get everything quite separated. Getting an idea of depth and all what happens around you is not there, or is much, much less. You want to have this kind of perception. I mean, the sound is coming from all over the place. For example, when I mix, I like very much, if I have to use reverb, I like, one thing that I found out is like, I like to place reverb in a binaural position, so that it really comes from here and back, so that I have clean sounds in the front, and then the reverb is coming like from behind you, or anyway from around you, and so that to really create a different spatial situation. So loudspeakers, not possible. We go to headphones. I tried a lot of headphones. Basically, you have two kind of headphones. You have a closed back, like you can see here, is completely closed, and this is very good for recording while you are playing an acoustic instrument, because it completely isolates your sound. You can hear your sound better. The music mix is not getting into the mic, so you don't have feedbacks and all kinds of things. My close back are these OOOPS PM3. OOOPS have great headphones. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore. The OOOPS PM1 is an open back. I mean, you can still find them. I got this one recently. And the point is that the OOOPS PM1 is an open back, and it costs, if you find it less than 900, whatever, dollars, euros, pounds, you're quite lucky, especially if they're in very good condition. I got this very good price. The PM3 were not that that expensive compared to the PM1. And so this is, I really use them if I'm recording, the drums or whatever other acoustic instrument I can play. For mixing and mastering, I tried many different things, and sincerely, for the kind of price, I mean, I would love to have stacks or other incredible, electrostatic or maniac planner things, but they're too expensive. I can't afford them. So this is, for me, is very, very good. It's extremely linear. What you hear here is really what you get into the mix. It's open back. You can see all this thing. This is completely open, so logically the sound comes out, and this is, it gives you already a kind of better stereo sound stage in your head. So, but what happens? I just discussed this. I just found this. This is a plugin. You can use it with more or less all the different DAW you can find around. Logic, I use Logic. You can use for Pro Tools and whatever else, Cubase and so on. CanOpener. Now, this is a fantastic little thing that is not so expensive. It's quite inexpensive plugin that you place at the end of your as a last stage of your monitoring, and this actually creates a virtual reflection of what you would hear using loudspeakers. We go and give a look at this. I think to hear differences, I will use three different things. One is Caram. I will use snippets, just very short things, because I don't want to get in trouble with copyright, and I hope they will not give me problems on YouTube. Anyway, Caram is a fantastic singer, and she records with Chesky Record. David Chesky is an incredible technician, sound master really, and he used minimalist microphone settings, completely analog, valves as much as possible, tubes as much as possible, and his recordings are fantastic. And especially from this record of Caram, Brie After Dark, there is a track which I think is really, really good to listen to, and really see the differences in what you get with the thing. Another one is Tori Amos, Voice for Pele. This, I think, is one of the best mixes you can find. Originally was recorded in a big church, incredible Bosendorfer piano, and great sound, incredible sound stage again. Really a perfect idea of what happens, adding drums and having a more raw kind of a sound. What happens when you really start working with depth of sound and sound staging, stereo placing of things and stuff. And then another thing that I really love is Stravinsky Rite of Spring, and this is a recording, an analog recording from '76 by Claudio Abbado and the London Symphony Orchestra. Listening to it on the quads was just like being in Covent Garden. I mean, you really had a depth of perspective and of the orchestra, and everything was springing up in front of you. It was incredible. So I think these three records are really something that is interesting to try on and see what we can do with CanOpener Studio. So, oops, we go, now we will move to Logic, and but definitely from now on use your best headphones, otherwise you cannot hear anything. I mean, it wouldn't make any difference. We're talking about details, we're talking about really the most sophisticated part of your sound, and this plugin CanOpener Studio can really make a difference, I think. Okay, have a good time. I'll hope you will have a good time. Okay, guys, now we are in Logic, and let's see how the whole thing works. So let me put some headphones, and actually I need some glasses. Anyway, you don't need to see me now, so we'll talk later. So here's the thing, the setup I have, and we have different options. Let's start from looking at the CanOpener Studio. So you can see it's sent out to the very last thing. There is nothing else. Oh, I decided to use CDs because first of all, it would be complicated to find high definition recordings of this material, and I decided to use this material because so it's not something that I produced or somebody produced in their studio and so on. These are really acclaimed recordings. So therefore, I mean, this is a standard we can use, I think, personally, to hear differences in the sound quality. So as I will say also afterwards, maybe the quality is really improved. I mean, you can really hear how the plugin CanOpener Studio works if you're using high definition, 24-bit, 96 kilohertz and so on. But anyway, I think you can hear quite a lot already just on normal 4416 files with this kind of recordings. So let's give a look at the interface. So here we have our CanOpener Studio. This is how it comes out. You have quite a lot of informations here, and so fortunately the manual that is produced by Good Hertz is really good. You find it on their website. Let's see if we can see it now. Yes. CanOpener Studio, there is an introduction, background, all the controls. This is the controls page, and it's quite long. I'm not going to go in details now. Maybe we give a look afterwards. And actually, they have presets. And I've been trying to work a bit with the different presets, and sincerely, I mean, maybe because I'm lazy, but definitely the Lifelike Mix Engineer is the best, at least for my use. So anyway, let's go back and see what happens in Logic. So here we have, let's start listen a bit while I speak, and then we can find out. So this is Caram. Now the CanOpener is on. Off. Can you hear how it goes out into your ears? This is what you normally would use. I mean, normally would hear. Change. Here you have a much better presence, we can say, in front of your head and top. Off. Again, it goes out into your ears. In. I mean, I really think this is a great recording. You can think about that this probably has been recorded just with a couple of mics, maybe 3, max 4 for all of this. And everything is achieved, with the distance between the players and incredible miking technique. And so this is interesting. You can really hear the clarity, especially in the percussion. You can almost feel like you could count the jingles. You can count the shakers, you know, how much sand there is inside and things like that. And really the traveling between the channels is so seamless. Let's give it a look again with CanOpener on. Out. In. Okay. So, in a way, for me, this is already enough, but let's see what happens on another track. So actually, yeah, let's start. The beginning is interesting because there is just some buzzing, some things, but listen to the space you have there. Without. Out. In. Now, let's go here in the middle of the piece, where the piano is going to have quite a lot of action, and then we can have some ideas. Oops. Perfectly still. Out. And here it's clear, I mean, this is just into the ears. Change.
And maybe you'll find me
Out.
a sailor, a tailor, and maybe together we'll make Mother World.
I mean, if you ever put your head inside a grand piano, especially this kind, you definitely do not hear things separated between your two ears. And this is very, very clear in this recording, and how CanOpener Studio is working. Oops.
It keeps perfectly still.
In. Out. In. Out. In.
And maybe you'll find me
Out.
a sailor, a tailor, and maybe together we'll make Mother World. So I got me some horses to ride on, as long as pansies in my ocean. It's pale and done off a superfly.
Okay, this is one. Let's listen to something a bit more complex. Out. It's in 2 ears. It's nothing to do. It's in 2 ears.
Little Amsterdam in a southern town. Harmony, get it on the plate, girl.
In.
Mama, keep your head down. Mama, it wasn't my bullet. Don't take me back to the range.
Out.
Back to the range. I'm just coming out of the cell in my brain.
In.
Don't take me back to the range. Back to the range. 'Cause get to know these days.
Okay. Where are we going now? Oh, a good, stronger tune. Let's see what happens. If we go forward. Now, just to overkill, let's go to the next one again. And this time we go to an orchestra thing. We go to the Rite Spring. And this is the very beginning. Now, if you want to check a bit of your headphones, actually, here you should really hear the noise of the keys of the oboe in the beginning. Out. You can hear also how the definition loses a bit. Try to really listen to the position of the different instruments. I can clearly hear it. I don't know what you think. Let's go to the second movement and let's see what happens. Out. Anyway, we could listen to it for a long time. Actually, what we can do, we can hear a bit the difference between the different settings. Very good is the last movement. It just goes down out in your ears. Let's change. This is more flat, as you can hear. This is the default setting. It has a less amount compared to, or crossfeed compared to the Lifelike. Also, this is quite impressive. Listen. Let's change. Now this is music before 1970. This is a wide. It's quite wide. It's not as open in the center. Just crossfeed. Actually, this is very busy. Let's try again going to Caram. Let's see what happens here. Warm. Brighter, of course. Darker. Less bass, just to hear the position. Only left. Only right. Mono. This is good when you really want to hear the positions, I mean the levels of the different things. Mono sound to the left. Mono sound to the right. Here you only hear the sides, what is outside of the center, which is very good. Mix engineer. We are back. Again, you can change some of this, you can really go crazy with it. Also, there is another view, which is the editor view. Now as controls. Here you can open it up and you can go all the different controls you have graphically there, you can change them from here. So I will not go into details, also because you can really go very far away with this stuff. Anyway, I think it's down into the ears. Everything is more placed around. Listen to this. Okay, so this was my little presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, good hertz, CanOpener Studio. This is the thing. Their web link is here, goodhertz.co. They're great guys, I think, and definitely is a very good tool to have. Anyway, I don't get anything out of them. I think it just was a good find, and I think it's good to have it. So enjoy, try it out. You have, if I remember right, you have 30 days or more to try out without any limitations and so on, so you can get hooked or dislike it completely. Depends also from the music you like, but I really think that in this way, especially if you're doing acoustic music, you can really make a difference in the way you mix and master your tunes. Thank you again, and if you like it, subscribe. I probably will come up with some more things. I'm not super active, but it would be nice to have a like and to have some feedback. Okay, take care. Thank you very much. Cheers.